Oh, fuck.
Who's that? Morgan Freeman is an American actor, producer, and narrator whose voice could make a grocery list feel like scripture. He's the calm in chaos. Steady eyes, measured pause, truth arriving on time. Let me tell you, the resume is a mountain range. Stage grind, TV persistence, late bloom breakout, then a run of films that turned gravitas into a first name, Lean on Me, Glory, Unforgiven, The Shawshank Redemption, Seven, $1 Million Baby, Invictus, and the omnipresent voice that launched 1,000 documentaries. His full name is Morgan Porterfield Freeman Jr., born June 1, 1937, in Memphis, Tennessee, raised partly in Mississippi and Chicago. Height, about 6'2", though the posture is taller. Childhood was working class and restless, full of school plays, odd jobs, and an early stint in the U.S. Air Force that taught him discipline and that planes are cooler to watch than to fly for a living. He came back to acting with purpose. Study, audition, repeat. The trademark tells arrived early, an unhurried cadence, a slight smile that says, "Listen," and the ability to make silence do more work than most monologues. Quirk file. Morgan is a pilot after all, recreational, by choice. He's also a beekeeper who turned a Mississippi property into a pollinator sanctuary because he'd rather leave something sweet behind than just stories. He loves blues and country roads and tends to show up prepared, not performative. No superstition, just respect for craft and time. Relationships and family stay mostly off stage. He has children and grandchildren he speaks about with gentle pride, close friends who've walked with him through the slow parts and the sprints, and a circle that values privacy over PR. He's a loyal collaborator. When a director earns trust, he returns the favor with performances that feel inevitable. The origin story is persistence, not fairy tale. Freeman worked the boards for years, earned attention on the electric company, and became a that guy long before the billing caught up. The hinge came late, 40s, when Street Smart put a spotlight on an actor who refused to blink. Then came the run, the principal who refuses to surrender, Lean on Me, the sharpshooter with history in his eyes, Glory, the quiet moral center in a loud western, and Ellis Boyd Red Redding, the man who told us hope is a good thing and somehow made the world believe it. After that, the phone never really stopped. Career beats and fast forward, character roles that became anchors, leads that became landmarks, and a narrator lane that turned his voice into cultural glue. He played detectives who see patterns before the room does. Seven. Mentors who refuse to condescend. $1 Million Baby. Statesmen and saints without the sermon. Invictus, Bruce Almighty. And tech billionaires who underplay the menace. The Dark Knight trilogy. He also produces selectively, nurturing stories that put purpose next to profit. The through line isn't swagger, it's clarity. What matters in the scene, what matters in the story, what matters in the world outside the theater. Money talk without the tabloid echo. A-lister checks arrived in the mature chapters of his career, and he leveraged them with intelligent consistency. Lead roles, pivotal supporting parts, narration that pays while he sleeps, and producing fees that stack over time. He's worked across studio tentpoles and prestige dramas, with a library that streams well and reruns better. Ad voice and commercial narration. When brands want trust to show up in 30 seconds, you know who they call. The result is durable income rather than headline-y spikes.
As of 2025, public estimates places net worth solidly in the high 8 figures, with some lists nudging 9 depending on how you value long-tail residuals in private assets. Take any single number with salt. The conservative math is simpler. Decades of steady top-tier work, evergreen catalog, smart participation, modest public lifestyle. Translation: comfortable, earned, and still compounding. Houses? Freeman's footprint is practical and personal. The heart of it is Mississippi. Land, sky, quiet, where he's invested in community and conservation. The property reads like a working retreat, room for guests, space for music, and natural acreage that supports his bee project. He's maintained additional residences tied to work cycles: Los Angeles when the schedule demanded proximity, New York when stage or press required it. But the vibe is constant: privacy first, function over flaunt, and views that breathe. Now the cars. Morgan Freeman's garage is less museum and more mission-ready. He's been seen in comfortable luxury sedans and SUVs, the kind you'd choose if you prefer conversations over engine noise. Think understated German and American staples with good seats, quiet cabins, and easy highway manners. He's also logged time behind the yoke of small aircraft, again chosen for purpose, not flash. If there's a Sunday driver in the mix, it's tasteful and classic, rather than neon and loud. He's never needed horsepower to announce he arrived. Lifestyle rhythm, age smart, roll smart, schedule smart. He protects sleep, favors daily movement over gym theatrics, and works lines out loud to find where breath and truth meet. He travels for work like a pro, commercial and practical, charter when the clock is the villain. And he treats crews with the same gravity he brings to a close-up. Colleagues talk about patience on set, generosity with off-camera reads, and an uncanny ability to land a scene on the first take because the homework was finished before breakfast. Public image versus operating system? The persona is sage narrator. The engine is precision. Freeman respects writers and hits the punctuation you didn't know mattered. He respects editors and gives them options. He respects audiences enough to underplay when overplaying would be easier. Moreover, he respects time. Yours, his, and the story's. That's why his characters feel inevitable rather than performed. Philanthropy lives in the same lane. Practical, local, and long-term. He supports arts education, disaster relief when his region is hit, and initiatives that protect the Delta's cultural and natural heritage. The Bee Sanctuary isn't a photo op, it's an operating expense. When a community charity needs a room filled, he'll lend the name and the voice, and when the cameras leave, the checks don't. Where is he in 2025? Working, but choosing carefully. Expect select roles that fit a wiser, quieter power, judges, mentors, leaders who steer with one look, and continued narration that turns complex subjects into sturdy bridges. Producing remains on the table when a story deserves a spine. He's past the phase where quantity impresses. Curation is the point. So what's next? More presence with fewer words. More stories where dignity matters more than spectacle. More afternoons in Mississippi where bees do the talking and the day keeps its own time. The trophies tell one story, the decades tell the rest. When a director needs gravity or a documentary needs heart, or when a young actor needs someone to hold the scene steady, Morgan Freeman will do what he's built to do. Arrive prepared, speak plainly, and remind everyone in the room that truth doesn't have to shout. Let me tell you, that's the lifestyle. Grounded, generous, and tuned to the frequency people trust.